Yep, it's been rumors that Triple H will be let go after WrestleMania, but until then, y'all like and subscribe to the channel. We will finna get into this video because right now we have some important news to deliver to you, and one of them is that the Ari Emanuel, from TKO, he's the one that decided that Pat McAfee should be the one that Randy Orton was talking to on the phone, and we all thought was The Rock, but it wasn't. And this is a straight just catastrophe, in other words, disaster of what we call story what's going on with the storylines. Road Dogg should have never been let go. That was dumb. So you let Road Dogg go just so matters can get even more bad, even more worse. So when I seen Pat McAfee doing this, I mean, like, it's already bad enough that he has these ridiculous shades on, and it's not really like helping the heel look at all. It just making him look even more ridiculous. But you get him coming out there and kicking Cody Rhodes in the balls, and my whole thing is, this was all supposed to be The Rock. This was supposed to be the final boss doing this at WrestleMania. But Triple H he's part to blame. And the reason why I'm saying part to blame, you guys, is because we got this guy from TKO who's pretty much trying to self-sabotage the WWE himself. And I'm thinking he's trying to do as much of this as possible before allegedly Vince McMahon comes back into the picture and regains control, while Triple H is on his way out the door, from what it's looking like. But as reports showing is that PW Insider saying that Pat McAfee, shout out to PWI, his revelation on SmackDown was an order from TKO, which I just stated, executives to WWE's creative team, which is not being creative, so I don't know why they call themselves a creative team, rather than being originated in the WWE writing room, and it received approval from Paul Triple H Levesque. So Triple H approved this. And this is why I'm saying that he's part of the blame, because the TKO, one of the executives, called for this to happen. So pretty much it's like TKO and Triple H, he don't want to say no to them, or it just seemed like that I can't even put the whole blame on Triple H, but I feel like it's only right because he has the approval stamp on what's going on. Randy Orton just doing his job. Long as he win at WrestleMania is all that really matters. But this Pat McAfee got to be one of the dumbest storyline plots that I've ever seen in professional wrestling. And it's sad that it's come to this, but I feel like these sad days are not going to last too much longer, because I feel like Vince McMahon, when that music hit, man. And I feel like, if Vince McMahon show up at WrestleMania, dog, when that music hit, no chance. Dun, 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 dun. No chance in hell. You got. When that music hit, and Vince McMahon come out, and he had like a little quick little promo, and let's just say that Vince McMahon come out and he says, now some real changes are finna happen, and it's finna be a start of a new era. We finna pick up from where we left off. You thought the Attitude Era was dead. It's finna be reborn again. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm back. Now, if Vince McMahon was to say that at WrestleMania, oh my God. You talking about viewership, it's finna be out of this world. We finna get wrestling back the way it's supposed to be. The Rock hopefully come back into the picture, final boss. Vince McMahon give The Rock his own rights to be able to call his shots and write the storylines how the way he see fit. Let's just say if Vince McMahon let The Rock come back into the picture and The Rock able to call his own shots with the storylines as the final boss. That would be so dope. Vince McMahon, The Rock, and then Stone Cold come back in the picture, and let's just say he want to put his input on how the storyline should be. Man, we finna have wrestling back because we don't really have no writers. So if the wrestlers able to freestyle and able to be able to tell or say how they want the storylines to be, how to, according to how the way they want their story, their character to be portrayed, until they find somebody at least, that will be a stepping stone until us getting back to where wrestling is supposed to be. Cinematic, unpredictable, backstage fights randomly, characters the way you can look at them and it can be sold to the point the way you believe them. It's not actually like it ain't gonna be no Pat McAfee situation where we just don't believe it. This finna be something that's really finna put a stamp on each character, each wrestler, and we're gonna have the consistency, and we're gonna have the fans back buying into it. And if the fans buy back into it, you know what that means? That means we're gonna have tickets being sold. People will not be afraid to be able to invest their money into buying tickets and showing up at these pay-per-views. In other words, PLEs is what they call it now. They won't feel like they're being took. They won't feel like their money is going down the toilet stool. Everything will feel like it's truly invested, and people will feel happy for spending their money because they know it's going to a good place to where we're going to have actually a show being put on consistently, and a great show at that. That's going to make sense. We're not going to have somebody cutting these short promos talking about a new era is going to begin. It's time for a new change, a new beginning. And just sounding stupid because ain't no new beginning, ain't no new era, and ain't nothing changed. Everything is still the same. And this is all what Triple H been doing it felt like 2-3 years since he been COO. It's been inconsistent, repeated patterns. The inconsistency, along with the repeated patterns, it overshadows when he actually does do something that the fans approve of. It get overshadowed real quickly because we know it's going to fall back down to the inconsistency again, and the booking of the matches and the storylines is going to go right back down the drain. So it's like you really don't want to give him credit or champion him for nothing that he does, the small things that he does right, because we know he's going to mess it up tomorrow. It's no consistency. It's nobody to tell him that, hey, this doesn't make sense. It's like people keep putting like they got their lips zipped, and no one is able to tell him like, hey, Hunter, this is not a good idea. You're like everybody just a whole bunch of yes men, yes women. And if he says it's okay, everybody's on board with it because he's a COO. And I don't even know how he even got in that position. I feel like his wife would have done a way better job. And this is no knock to Triple H, but everything isn't for everybody. I mean, just because you was a wrestler don't mean you know how to run a business. This is no knock to him. This is just a fact. His wife has every business mind, like she has the business mind to know how to run a company, to make things make sense, to have a storyline and a story going for each character to where it makes sense, to where the fans can be invested in it. And they wouldn't mind tuning in every week or spending their money every week when they come to a city near you. Don't get me wrong, we're going to have trolls that's going to be trolling and that's going to find something negative to say about everything, but that's not going to be neither here or there because they will be ignored because the majority of the masses will be congratulating to the fact that we have wrestling back to where it's supposed to be. Because the Trolls had already did their thing when The Rock was there. He was making his final boss. When that storyline segment was on fire, with the whole him and Cody Rhodes beating Cody Rhodes up in the parking lot, backstage, and asking Cody Rhodes to say so. People was on the Rock, and it didn't make any sense. But at the same time, when I saw it, I knew it was trolling. And that's what the WWE have to understand, like, difference between trolls and what makes sense and what don't make sense. Because trolls are going to troll. And what they're saying doesn't hold any weight if what's going on is actually making sense as far as the storyline goes. You can't listen to every fan. You have to listen to the fans that make sense, not the ones that's always just constantly just finding something to nitpick about. It's a difference. Facts versus trolls. Sensei Reality TV. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more news when it comes, but word around town, man. WrestleMania will be Triple H's last ride, which is the Undertaker move, but that's no pun intended, whatever you want to call it. But like and subscribe. I'll see y'all later. One love. Peace.